This is ex Wallkill Bethelite here, and I just wanted to touch on a few things. The organization likes to promote the idea that people that no longer want to be associated with the organization do so because they want to lead a debauched, sinful lifestyle, or that they are somehow mentally diseased. This is simply untrue. And they know it's not true. How can I prove that? Let's take Ray Franz. Ray Franz did not leave the organization because he wanted to go and party. He didn't leave because he wanted to do a lot of drinking, which goes on anyway at Bethel. He didn't leave because he wanted to get involved with sexual immorality. And witnesses know that, they understand that, but yet then they go and say people are mentally diseased or they want to go out and lead a debauched lifestyle. That is the furthest thing from the truth. You guys remember the movie The Wizard of Oz. And you know, the movie just centered around this wizard, the Wizard of Oz, who was going to fix everything that was wrong, regardless of whether it was someone needing a heart, needing a brain, needing courage, needing to get home, whatever it was, he was going to fix everything. He was the be-all, end-all, the great, powerful Wizard of Oz. Well, what happens when they go to see this wizard? They do everything that he asked them to do, and nothing that he is promising them, he doesn't follow up on any of it. Well, the dog, Toto, goes over, runs over, grabs the curtain, pulls back this curtain, and exposes everything as a sham. You clearly see a man manipulating what people think is going to solve everyone's problem. You see it clearly, and he knows he's caught. Now, what do they do once they've seen that all of that is false? Do they just keep pretending that there's a Wizard of Oz? Because that's really apparently what the organization expects people to do once they have come to the realization, once they have woken up, once they realize that behind this whole quote unquote Jehovah's Christian congregation, behind this Jehovah's organization, really are just a group of imperfect men that cannot always follow through on promises or expectations. I have a friend that I went to Bethel with, and he always walked with a limp. I never understood why he walked with a limp. And I remember asking him about it. We would walk to our assignment sometimes. My assignment was across the street from the main complex. I worked in the food warehouse, and we would have morning worship, of course, in the main complex, and then we'd walk across the street to get to our assignment. And while we're walking, I'm thinking, man, what did you do to your knee? And he said, oh, I messed my knee up pretty bad at work, and because we work around forklifts and things like that, and from my understanding, he got hit. And what he told me is that he didn't know, that if they would pay for his surgery or not. And I knew in the back of my mind that if you get hurt, you could possibly be going home, because it was kind of, in my mind, out of the question that the organization is going to pay for a surgery so you can remain there. Why would they do that when they could just find somebody else that'd be more than happy to replace you and do so for free? For free. So really, they're going to pay for a surgery. But my mind was so focused on being loyal to the organization, no matter what, that I almost agreed with that position. And of course, now I realize how unloyal it is on their part, that if you get hurt at work there at Bethel, they just replace you with someone else. They just send you away for you to figure out what you're going to do on your own. And he didn't want that. So he loved Bethel. He worked his tail off. He loved Bethel and he wanted to stay, and he just toughed it out. From my understanding, he just toughed it out. He got a knee brace and toughed it out for years and years. But after even that much time, he still had a bit of a limp. Well, fast forward a few more years, and he meets a real nice sister and introduces her to us on the crew. And, I'm assuming he's going to remain there at Bethel. He worked in purchasing, had an office, really a cubicle, more so than an office, but it somewhat of an important position there. And come to find out, he's going to have to leave Bethel. And I just remember being shocked, because I'm thinking that there's just no way. And I've mentioned this before about other people who, regardless of how long they served or what they did, when it came to them finding someone to make them happy, Bethel is like, well, we'll find someone else to replace you. We don't want to bring in another sister when we can just find someone else that is single to do what you did for free. And I was just shocked at how disloyal it was. Here's this man who has worked through pain for years, young guy, liked to play basketball. I'm pretty sure he wasn't able to enjoy the hobby that he really loved, which is to play basketball, because he hurt his knee and didn't properly get it fixed or properly have attention, medical attention on that knee. And there's no way, it's not like no one knew. You don't get hit by a forklift. The forklift didn't hit him by itself. People knew he got hit by a forklift and was toughing it out. And apparently the concept is encouraged, because when I was at Bethel, it was just out of the question for a brother to go to the doctor for whatever reason. Now, a sister, yeah, but a brother, it didn't matter if you got hit by 10 trains. Why would you're not tough if you go to the doctor. I mean, this whole concept is something that is taking advantage of people and making it seem like it's out of the question for the organization to take proper care of its members. And what do you expect when people see things like this, and when they come to the realization that not only does this organization treat its members worse than any worldly organization I know of? If I get hurt at work, I fill out paperwork. And even if it's one of those situations that they try to fight me on it, it's a good chance they're paying for my medical treatment. I don't care what worldly company is not going to do it. But you mean to tell me Jehovah's organization, you get hurt, you better tough it out, or you might find yourself sitting at home recovering while someone else fills your position at Bethel. And I mean sitting at home, no longer at Bethel. So really, it's not a matter of people learning this about the organization, that it treats its members as bad as it does, and that there has been flip-flops in doctrine, that you have child molestation that has been just flat out covered up. Flat out covered up. There's no way around it. If you look at the Candace Conti case, which is on YouTube, if you want to familiarize yourself with what happened there, which is a very sad situation. And then you have the situation in Australia, which I think a lot of that is also on YouTube if you want to familiarize yourself with those two things there. And then you ask yourself, well, what makes this organization better than any other organization? They may say that they have the truth, but where is their credibility? So it's not a matter of the organization saying, well, everyone that leaves does so because they're mentally diseased and they want to lead a debauched life. That's not true. That's clearly not true. So that's just something that I wanted to touch on. You guys let me know what you think. I mean, because there's some people, and there's different situations. Some people initially maybe wanted to leave because they wanted to have some freedom to do what they wanted to do whatever they enjoyed doing. Or maybe they felt that they were just, they were under too much restriction. So yeah, you may have some cases where somebody wanted to really explore life, but you can't say everyone that left because of dishonorable reasons. Not to mention, what has been said about homosexuals and different things like that. I mean, it gets to the point where there's no way there's divine intelligence behind all of this. There's no way there's divine intelligence behind all the things that are going on in the organization. I called someone and asked them to explain the change in the 1914 generation, the new teaching on that. They didn't even understand it. This isn't new light. They're changing things so much that that their members don't even understand the teachings anymore. They're changing it so much. It's not an advancement in understanding. So when you see all these things, you see basically Toto and the Wizard of Oz remove that curtain and you clearly see things for what it is. What do you expect people to do? And I understand that there are people who have seen behind the curtain and remain. And the saying is, quote unquote, Jehovah will fix it in his due time. What's the difference between that mindset? Jehovah will fix it in his own due time, regardless of what it is. It doesn't matter what the organization does. I'm going to stay here because Jehovah will fix it in his own due time. What's the difference between that and someone, quote unquote, in Christendom saying that Jesus will take care of everything and you just have to have faith? People from the organization go door to door talking to people, trying to get them to leave their particular church denomination and come over and join the Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, if they have the same mindset that no matter what you bring up to them at the door, oh, well, God will take care of it. God will fix it. Yeah, but you guys believe this, and the Bible said, well, there's new advancement in understanding. God will take care of it. no one would get anywhere. There's no progression there. That's a cop-out. If the answer to everything that has been mentioned in this and other videos is Jehovah will take care of it in his due time, according to you guys, as far as I'm talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, according to you guys, we're in the last days. It's about to be over with as far as this system is concerned. When is he going to take care of all of these things? If you're saying that he's just going to take care of it when he wants to, why wouldn't he want to? Well, what's going on? What's the holdup? What's he doing? He's only got one organization. What's he doing? It just takes thought. It takes thought. And I understand if people are uncomfortable with where their thoughts are leading them, but where's the progression? If Jehovah will fix it in his due time is the answer to everything. Jehovah knows that's the answer to everything. It's not. It's a cop-out. It's the same as someone in Christendom saying they just have to have faith. You go and talk to a Catholic and say, well, why do you have to confess to a priest? Well, you don't have to understand. Jesus is going to fix everything. He'll explain everything. No one will progress. No one will progress. So, I'll leave that there. You guys comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about what the organization is saying about us, really. And the organization's treatments of its members. You know what happened to me, at Bethel, where, when I got sent away, I didn't understand. I really didn't understand the rush and packing all my belongings, not asking, but just grabbing my belongings, packing them up in boxes and putting them in my car. And just saying, hey, drop your dwelling manual off on the way out, and your key on the way out. That's just not the way a Christian organization treats its members. And, finally, I just want to touch on the fact that we're getting, into the Christmas holidays. And that's a time where people sometimes get time off work and spend it with family. But then it's also a time for some survivors of this organization, this cult, whatever you want to call it, where some survivors feel depressed because, they don't get to speak to their family. People at work are talking about their family. Their friends are talking about their family, getting together for Christmas dinner and things like that. But you have those of us that may not get to speak to their family or see their family. And it could be their kids. There's people who have been disfellowshipped, and because they were disfellowshipped, their family and their congregation and everyone turned on them so that they would lose custody of their child to the person who was, quote unquote, in good standing. This involved them telling things that weren't even true about the person, just so that the person that was in, quote unquote, good standing would get those kids. So, you have people that haven't even seen their kids. And this is a very depressing time. It's a very tough thing to go through. It's not something that you have to go through on your own. And again, I'm going to leave my email in the description. I try to get around to everyone. If you feel that it's just too much, if you feel like giving up, if you feel like you can't see happiness in the near future, if you feel lost, because it's just a big void. Not only did you just wake up to everything being a lie, but now you don't have family, you don't have your friends. Send me an email. We will take care of it together. There are crisis hotlines. I'm not trained necessarily. I'm not a professional. Sometimes just talking to me may help. If not, it's not going to hurt to talk to someone on a crisis hotline that's trained to handle situations where someone needs help. I'm not going to just, hang up and say, you go call the crisis hotline. No, if this talk, if you send me an email, I'll send you my phone number. And when we talk, if you don't feel better, I will call with you on the line, the crisis hotline. And we will both talk to someone that is trained to handle situations. Because I know it's tough. If you feel depressed, you don't feel like picking up the phone. You don't feel like doing all that. So, but from my viewpoint, it's worth it. Don't give up. Send me an email if you need to, or if you just want to chat, that's fine. Send me an email. I'll get you my number as soon as I can. Call me or send me your number. I'll call you. If you're feeling bad, if you're really feeling bad, if you're really hurt, it's not worth, if the thought of suicide, send me an email, we're going to talk. If you even have the thought of suicide, send me an email and we're going to talk and we're going to get on the phone with someone that is trained to be helpful. So again, I'm going to leave my email, and you guys enjoy your Christmas. Hopefully you have gotten a lot of your shopping done before it gets crazy, and we will talk another time. That's X Walk Your Beth Light out.